Welcome to Lynn Cullen Live. Talk radio without the static. Email your questions and comments to lynncullenshow@gmail.com. And now your host, Lynn Cullen.
All right, insert a primal scream here. Okay, all right. I wish I could say I feel better. I don't. Oh God. All right, listen, let's just get going. It's January 28th. We're a little over a week into Trump's second term, and we are quite understandably reeling. It's a Tuesday, and that means my sister Susan's here to join us in our whatever anxiety. Hi.
Yeah. I woke up this morning and texted my daughter-in-law to see if she still had a job.
Is her? How is?
She manages the grants for the Adler Planetarium.
No, she's got a long vacation ahead of her.
Yes, she does. And I mean, he's just throwing people out of jobs willy-nilly. And they're all, things that affect our quality of life. I mean, like, it's just awful.
It's hard. Go ahead.
No, I wake up, I scan the headlines, I have a panic attack, I throw it down. I can't do that. I don't think I can live ignoring this.
No.
Because
you can't.
For it to succeed,
that's right.
It requires us to ignore it.
Right. You got that right.
And, eventually enough people are going to be standing on the sidewalk that people will notice.
Listen, at the level of just destruction he intended, he was quite clear that he wanted to, destroy the government as it exists. And man, he is wasting no time. Of course, government is people. And people's lives. I cannot begin. I think you'd be hard pressed in a week or so not to know more than a person who has lost their job, whose job is in jeopardy as a result of this. Because as you say, just this thing with the grants today, and just in case somebody is
never mind medical research, all the medical research, clinical trials,
everything.
People that are dying from cancer,
those are all stopped.
About to enter they're going to die now. Clinical trials. Sorry,
all stopped. Every federal grants are the fuel for almost everything that goes on at every research institution in this country / university. Every university now is losing its mind. There are whole programs that don't know if they can, in fact, continue, if they can afford to keep the people that they have on. And then, as Susan says, never mind the work they're working on, which also will impact so many people. Now, they say it's a pause. We're pausing this. You can't pause some of this stuff.
You can't pause someone's cancer treatment. You can't wait a week to start it. They're dead. This was a death sentence to a lot of people. A lot of people are out of work. A lot of people are just now sentenced to death. I want that real clear. That's what he did. And I know I've heard from people that are part of clinical trials that have been told not to show up. It's done.
It's over. Yeah. There was a piece I read in the local media today touting how the county got a grant of well over $1 million that is going to help mitigate flooding in poorer neighborhoods, what they call under-resourced communities. Well, first of all, under-resourced communities. That sounds DEI-ish. And
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, forget that. This is obviously
I
intended.
mean, if you can't teach about the Tuskegee Airmen,
Yeah.
you certainly can't currently help people.
No. And let me tell you, that article got written, and then the rug got pulled out from under. That grant's gone. It's part of the a grant money made during Biden's infrastructure bill. It's part of that bill.
Gone.
It's gone. And I was reading the article and about all these community groups who were so excited that they would be able to, finally get this thing off the ground. That the amount of damage these people do is
well, now you see how oligarchs feel about the little people. And we're all the little people. What I don't get, because the way they are enforcing DEI, let's just be clear, is white men no longer have any competition, because
right.
DEI applies to all the rest of us. Oh, excuse me, handicapped white men in any way, you're with us. But otherwise,
no, gay white men, trans white men,
gay and trans. Yes,
well, maybe even Muslim white
that's
men.
On the fringes.
How about just Christian
straight,
white men? I mean, it narrows even more.
It keeps narrowing. You're right.
Yeah.
Till you get down to the oligarchs.
It's
shocking.
It is
watching. Yeah. We order you to change your history. We are setting back the clocks 50 years. What people didn't understand when he clearly told you what he was going to do, and how any woman could have voted for him, how any person of any color or with any issue that is uniquely theirs, how could you have voted for this
because
guy?
I think, Susan, we heard, didn't we, that people thought he was just full of bombast, that he didn't really mean it.
Why would they think that?
Because he lies all the time, except when he isn't lying.
And they saw what he did the last time. He wasn't lying the last time. Why do people refuse to see what's right in front of them?
They even leaked the whole game plan with the Project 2025.
Yeah, and they're following it
to the letter,
step by step.
Yeah, to the letter. It's astonishing. It just, if this were just, all federal grants have now been suspended. This economy, the impact on our economy is huge. I can't even begin to, and as you said, lives will be lost, lives will be uprooted. People are now, and
by the way,
terrified.
Our medical establishment is forbidden to warn us about bird flu and stuff. Specifically forbidden. So it really looks like they're actively trying to kill a large swath of us without even having to set up a concentration camp.
Yeah. And it's again flooding the zone. So much stuff that we sit here and can't respond quickly enough. I sure hope at some point the shock begins to wear off and a form of resistance that will have some muscle begins to form. I mean, we cannot expect that will happen, immediately, because it's going to take some time to figure and to have it just happen in some ways. But the cruelty behind the sort of unthinking, I said ham-fisted, jack-booted cruelty yesterday. This is what it is. That the fact that they've halted. Another thing they've halted is the Refugee Program. Understand, the U.S. Refugee Program has nothing whatsoever to do with illegal immigration. Nothing. And he's now halted that. That is affecting people who were doing what they were told to do, which is operate under the proper rules. These are people who did everything they were supposed to do. Dotted every I, crossed every T, passed every test.
Yeah, they play by the rules, which is what these people say they want. Everybody to do but them. It's sort of amusing.
You know, there's people here. There are groups here in Pittsburgh that were fully expecting certain of these refugees to come into town, and this is going on in agencies and countries and cities all over the country today. And now these people are stuck. They're stuck in refugee camps. They're stuck in very dangerous situations in places. Afghanistan, for one. These are people that did it absolutely by the book through proper channels, and Trump has yanked the rug out from under them. Some of them have worked for years to get finally where they're get on an airplane. And some were expected to get on that airplane and come to Pittsburgh this week. Think of those people. And by the way, the agencies here that take these people in, they don't know whether to just close down. Again, absolute chaos.
Yeah. And let's talk about the price of eggs.
Oh, unfucking believable.
Oh, now Trump's joking about running for a third term.
I don't, fuck him. Just fuck him. Fuck him. I'm sorry.
The good news is the law of averages says he's got to die real soon.
No, Suze, just stop. I mean, we got to deal with this. By the way, this suspension I was just talking about absolute, totally by the book refugees, it is particularly devastating to as many as 15,000 people in Afghanistan who have been ready to get on planes to get here. These are people who risk their lives for this country, whose lives are at risk every second they stay in Afghanistan. And he just screwed them. We haven't even gotten to his pulling of all foreign aid. That stopped too. All foreign aid. All programs to alleviate AIDS. All programs that go to refugee camps for the people in most distress in the world. All of those programs have been stopped.
Well, and a lot of this has been congressionally approved, and he doesn't really have the right to stop it.
Well, yes, never mind that this is all illegal. And when I'm talking about these aid programs that are now absolutely the money has stopped, I'm talking about Save the Children. I'm talking about Mercy Corps. I'm talking about all those nonprofit charities that you see advertised and show you the kind of work they're doing for people in most distress in this world. And Trump not only pulled the rug out from under all of them, but he warned these groups not to complain to the media. You cannot get more evil than these people. Well, yes, you could. And I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah, I don't think they've hit bottom yet.
Oh, no. Oh no, they're not even 2 weeks in. They told us they were going to hit the ground running. Wow. They told us, shock and awe. They're delivering. Give them that. They're delivering. Listen, we got calls coming in, Suze.
Okay.
Let's get to them.
Join us in outrage.
Yeah, hello. Go ahead, please.
Hello, Clarence from Canonsburg.
Hi,
Hey.
Clarence.
Hey. So when I dialed the phone, we're talking about, how people can, people who are effing around and finding out that they basically vote against their own interests. How could they possibly do that? And what I figured out and what I found out is they weren't listening to the lies about themselves. They were listening to the lies about other people, the people they hate, the people they want to get rid of, thinking they were immune. How many, I don't know if you watch this stuff or see this stuff, Hispanics who thought Trump was only talking about, the criminals
Right.
being deported.
Yeah.
How many?
Yeah.
How many black people thought they were just talking about Hispanics? You know what I mean?
Right.
In fact, I think it was Elon Musk's PAC who, in one state, said that Kamala Harris was supporting the Jews, and in another state said that she was supporting the Palestinians, depending on, it's that kind of thing. And
and her husband wasn't a real Jew, depending on who you were listening to. He was a self-loathing Jew.
Yeah, depending on who you're listening to.
Yeah.
And where I fault our side is that we refuse to call people stupid. Well, that's not going to get you anywhere. Well, not calling them stupid hasn't gotten us anywhere. And I found, and people are starting to find out. Well, let me use this as an example. You might have even seen this, Susan, on my right after the election, where I put my sister on Front Street because she voted for Trump. I took a screen grab of her post talking about God save this man and he's going to save the country, and I wrote a comment that was so devastating to her, and I knew she would delete it, so I screen grabbed it and put it on my page and made sure that people seen it. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
People are not willing. I know a family that has 3 gay people and 1 trans person in there, and I asked them. I said, why? Who voted for their family voted for Trump, and they're still like, oh, I think there's no possible way I could do that. No possible. They have to have some kind of punishment for their vote, and you still talking to them. You know what I mean? There was an episode of Star Trek, I don't want to go into it, but where the Klingons turned their backs on people on their own, who didn't live with honor. And that's exactly what I did. You know what I mean? You're going to this.
But what's that?
I might not be able to change your vote, huh?
Yeah, but where does that get us? I mean, how does that? What positive impact?
What the Republicans do, right, is they like to separate people, and these people aren't. They're easily manipulated. They're punks. They're wimps. They follow strength, and if you don't have the strength to ignore them, you know what I mean? They need you. They need your support. They need you, and if they don't have it, you know what I mean? Trust me, they will come back to you eventually. At least in 2 years. And you got to constantly. Yeah. You have to. There's to me, there's no other way. You know what I mean? If you said that, well, everybody has their difference of opinions. People are dying. You just said, about the cancer. Stopping the cancer research. People are dying. I told my sister, and this wasn't online. I said, if I lose my Obamacare and I die, I want you to get up in front of wherever I am and take the blame. I said, I want you to sit up there and say, I voted for Trump. Trump took away my brother's Obamacare, and he died. I said, that's what I want you to do, because that's what you're doing.
Okay. All right. Hey, okay. I get it. Clarence, You're righteous.
Clarence, I gotta say, I did the same thing with a few people, and I just said, I don't care what your reason was. You voted against every woman that you love in your life, and I just want you to remember that when one of them needs medical care.
Yep.
All right, you two. Listen, I got to move on just because we got other calls.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
You're welcome.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah. God help us. Okay, you are up. Hello.
Good morning, girls. How are you?
We're
Hi.
okay, sorta.
Well, I did yesterday try typing something on live chat, but something happened to my iPad. I just have a recommendation. Sunday afternoon, waiting for a football game, I turned on PBS, and Rick Steves, who normally does travel shows, has a show. I don't know if it's older, but it's it's an hour and a half about fascism. And if you could recommend it, it is unbelievable and frightening. And they showed, there's a lot of footage, and there's Mussolini, who is on a balcony, and his gesturing reminds me so much of Donald Trump, not his cadence, but the gesturing. And I just think it's something good for everybody to refresh their brain and see what's going on. And I wanted to ask either one of you girls if you're as frightened about Kash Patel as I am.
Well, there's every reason to be frightened by Kash Patel, but there's every reason to be frightened. The problem is I don't think he particularly sticks out. We can be just as frightened about any of the others.
But he is going to be in charge of the FBI.
Yes.
Yeah, but
and
look who
last night they.
Yeah.
Look, and Cassie and Tulsi Gabbard is the CIA. We are opening up our secrets to our enemies.
Yes, but last night they were showing what he is. He is just like Donald Trump. He has cards now that you could buy. He's now pushing some type of pill that if you were forced to take the COVID shots, you take his pills and it will release everything. I'm watching this and I'm thinking, I'm going to go out of my mind.
What's astonishing is he has to obviously go before the Congress. The Congress has to sign off, right, on him, as they've had to sign off on these others. What's astonishing is to see that the Congress,
to see them sign off. When Hegseth got through,
totally,
I just thought, okay,
that's it. If Hegseth gets through, that's fine. Anybody gets through. Patel will get through. I can't imagine who's not going to get through. And also note, as I did yesterday, that there are some Democrats, senators, that are voting for these people. And one of them is ours, Fetterman. And
Fetterman, he was on The View yesterday.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it because I was always very supportive. I take stuff over to Braddock, to his wife.
Yeah, I do too. And that's a good thing.
It is a good thing, but this is happening to Bill Maher too, who I used to like to watch his show Friday nights. But they're all kissing.
I don't think Maher is exactly kissing his. No.
Yeah.
No, but no, he's not. He's just not part of anyone. He speaks his own truth.
He likes to upset everybody.
Yeah, which is what Fetterman does too. But media gravitates to somebody like Fetterman because he shows up at the inauguration in a hoodie and shorts, because he continues to be this, you think he doesn't want attention? He is our potential Trump. It's what he is.
Yes.
And it's why he sort of has, you can tell, he's quite, I think, open about it, an admiration for Trump's abilities, the ability to suck up attention, the ability to be seen as a disruptor, an outsider, the ability to appear authentic. And there are people that are paying attention, and make no mistake, Fetterman, and I'm so glad now he had that stroke because that'll be the thing that might hold him back. He's not a healthy man. But otherwise, I think we'd see Fetterman as the Democratic nominee next time around, whether you want it or I want it or not. I kid you not, because he can pull in the same people who voted for Trump. It's all a show. It is all a show now. It's entertainment. It's who knows how to attract attention. And our media fall for it. We fall for it. The fact that we're all the addicts of these algorithms that the oligarchs control, it's over. I'm thinking. It's over.
Well, the one thing that really bothers me the most is when my Democratic friends go, well, they're getting, the people that voted for him are getting what they asked for. Look what's happening. Well, it's affecting all of us. I mean, did they not know what this man was all about? I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess it is what it is. But I hope that people will. I'm assuming that PBS, that you can get shows that aren't on regularly.
Yeah, there's an app. There's an app for that.
Good. I think it's
Yeah.
enough for everything.
Okay.
I hope it's something that people tune into. Thank you, girls. Love your show.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Milton says, preach, Clarence. Let's call stupid people stupid people. Ridicule works. Tracy says, we've known all this stuff for months. Where's the leadership? What the hell? Robert, all is quiet on the left side of the aisle. They're paralyzed. We've got no leadership.
No. That's why I'm going to say what I've been saying all along. All we can do is control what we can control, and that's local. And we have to refocus local. This is where the resistance is going to have to come from in the end. And the states have to stand firm. So, elections, we have to at least locally be paying attention, getting candidates ready for 2 years, starting the work now. That's what we have to do. I call it living life on low beams. And you just handle what you can handle, because otherwise, we'll do what I was doing this morning, which is catastrophizing. I've been keeping myself going by reminding myself where Nazi Germany is today.
Yeah, but look at what happened for them to get there. And look.
I understand. Well, I'm not saying that we aren't going to live through a horrifying period, but I am going to say, in the end,
yeah,
the forces for good seem to prevail, and
yeah.
I'm gonna hold on to that.
And then you see our president's, right-hand man over there exhorting the neo-fascists in Germany to get rid of their guilt and take over again.
Yeah, I know.
It's something. It is something. By the way, just want to point out, apparently I just saw a little blurb, you might have seen it too, that one of the Democrats in the Senate has said he's not going to run again. He happens to represent Michigan, which is, as you know, a state Trump carried, which could well mean that there goes another Senate seat. Right, really nice, great. Also want to point out that our new Treasury Secretary, who was put through the other day, Scott Bessent, He's relatively poor, by the way, for Trump's cabinet. I just
He
want to
only
say
has what, 500 mil?
exactly.
Really?
He's half a billionaire. That's it. Just
This is why
half.
I'm a good bullshitter. I'm right
I
half
know.
the
Well,
time.
but listen, that's why the fact of the matter is he'll be worth a lot more soon,
Oh,
right?
sure.
Because when you're in Trump's cabinet, you get rich. And his number one priority is tax cuts for the rich. Guess what's not a priority? And in fact, something he is opposed to: raising the federal minimum wage from its current state, which is $7.25.
Right. $7. Right.
$7.25. And he was asked yesterday, would you be in favor of raising that $7.25 minimum wage? No, he said.
Well, he doesn't like to pay anybody.
God,
You know, I mean, he avoids that at all costs.
okay, I do want to point out that people who are losing their positions, anyone who is transgender in the military is going to be out. And very specifically, last night, Trump issued an executive order targeting anyone in the military who is transgender, and not just transgender, because if you read the whole thing, it is mind-blowing. Also, targeting anyone with mental and physical health conditions incompatible with active duty. Now, I would argue the Army and Navy
Well,
and
there goes half the armed forces.
There goes half the armed forces, right, but not for the reason that I'm sure Trump would say. You know, you got maybe some, people who like to kill and sociopaths and psychopaths and, who knows? That's not who he's talking about.
They're fine. I'm talking about all the people with PTSD.
Indeed. The list of conditions could affect tens of thousands of people in the military. Okay, it specifies some diagnoses. Any diagnoses that require substantial medication or medical treatment, bipolar and related disorders, eating disorders, suicidal tendencies, and prior psychiatric hospitalization. They're all now supposed to be kicked out of our military. We won't, it'll be 6 people standing? The order calls.
I don't know. What if you're a diabetic, so you can't be in the armed forces?
I don't know. The order calls for the Pentagon to adopt updated policies on medical standards required for military service. It takes aim at transgender people in personal terms, accusing them of living in conflict with a soldier's commitment to an honorable lifestyle.
Oh, my God.
And goes on, a man's assertion that he is a woman and his requirement that others honor this falsehood is not consistent with the humility and selflessness required of a service member.
I'm going to throw up.
Yeah, you can't. You can't.
The meanness with the person writing those words.
Oh, they're just cruel. They're just.
I hope there's a hell.
Gigi Rice has a very good show on NPR on the weekend on the media. Yeah. That show has been doing pieces on the media, which have capitulated. The Philadelphia Inquirer continues to publish informative critical pieces. Stephen Colbert continues to mock the new president. At least there are some resources out there. I've written to Fetterman twice this week, once to take him to task for voting to confirm Kristi Noem, and today to point out why RFK Jr. is not qualified. I think we should all be writing to him every day, reminding him we're paying attention. Aside from all that, we all need to take care of ourselves and each other, choose our outrage, and we cannot disengage. That is what they want. That is true. God. Is something, huh?
It's really something. You know, sometimes I feel like I'm our mother and that I've lived too long.
Mhm. Robert is still insisting I end the show. All that you said about Trump gutting everything in this country is the reason to end your show by saying to those who reelected Trump, I have 2 words. Fuck you. But problem is I'm trying really hard to not swear as much.
Really?
Yeah, I am.
Good for you.
You hadn't noticed?
Well, it loses all meaning if every other word is
That's
F.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Barbara reminds us of Adam Sewer's wonderful article, right, in the Atlantic in October, titled "The Cruelty is the Point."
Yeah.
That Trump and those who support him find community in rejoicing in the suffering of those they hate. It's very Christian. Very Christian.
Yeah, well.
God.
I mean, that was what was so funny about him getting so mad at the bishop who merely preached the gospel and applied it, and and he's screaming. I mean, he's sitting in church. What does he expect to be told to do?
Well, that's why he avoids churches.
Well, yeah, but if that's my point. You want to go to church, you're going to have to hear what they actually say in church. If you don't want to go, if you don't want to hear it, don't go. Stop pretending.
I do want to point out that a few things. The federal government is the nation's largest employer. So when we talk about people losing their jobs, there's going to be a lot. I've seen stories of people who have, and they've all been ordered to do, in office. They can't work from home anymore. And for a lot of, in the VA, there's a lot of them that work remotely because of disabilities. And they're not sure that they're exempt. And given that these people are as cruel as they are, they have reason not to.
No, it's simply a way of getting rid of a lot of people without having to do any due diligence about how you're getting rid of them. The people that can't come in will quit. There you go. That's what all the corporations are doing with these policies back in, and it's acknowledged. It's easier than firing people. Come in or you're gone. That's it.
Got another caller here. Go ahead, please.
Hey, I read where the Democrats are keeping a low profile because they got their asses kicked. So they're not screaming as loud as we think they should be. I'm talking about the political leaders, the ones in Congress.
Well, half of us voted for them, so they didn't get their asses kicked.
But do you hear any
Not much. I don't get any sense of leadership or any sense of resistance or any sense of anything.
Or it could be media. Media is not covering them. They can't get in front of a microphone. They can't get media to turn itself away from the constant shit show emanating from the White House.
I'm sure that's correct.
That's part
Well,
of it.
I mean, I've been saying for a long time is these Democrats need to really try to get themselves on Fox and state their case, because otherwise we're going to go back to Bill Clinton era Democrats who are basically Republican light and go back to shit like don't ask, don't tell. And my concern is, I mean, I have a lot of concerns, is that, I think you were talking about post-World War II Germany, and if we have to go to that stage to get to some sort of realization what terrible human beings or country we're becoming. The problem we have today is misinformation. People don't pay attention to history. History is not allowed to be taught. Everybody's in their own echo chambers like we are today. I don't know how people are going to wake up, because I think people are very disinterested.
You're right. Well, you're right. We're in a real pickle in that the people who control most of the information are not on our side. Most people don't read newspapers. Most people don't. They get their information from what? From their phones, from these, from TikTok and Facebook, and we saw all the people who own those venues. That's not the proper term. At Trump's inauguration, they've already given him tons of money. They've kissed his ring. Do you think that Meta and Threads and Facebook and Twitter and all of those things that are all over the world are going to be doing anything but serving their own interests? They've gotten rid of fact checking. It's the age of disinformation. You can't expect people to know anything.
And with the glory of AI, they don't want you to have the ability to find the correct information. Any place you go will still be giving you whatever they tell it to give you.
That's right. No, we're just absolutely pawns now in the tech world's hands. I downloaded for the first time a one of these AI things today, and I haven't played with it yet. What I did was I downloaded the Chinese one that sent the stock market crashing yesterday. It's called DeepSeek.
Yeah, all except Apple, because Apple it was so far behind in AI that they haven't risked any money.
Yeah.
So their stock went up.
Yeah. Well, good. DeepSeek, it's called. Now, what's interesting is when I tried to download it, another app came up instead and got on my phone called Chat by AI. That is not what I tried to download. I went back and I had some difficulty, but I finally got the DeepSeek. We'll see. And there's indications that these behemoths we have, Google and Meta and all of these guys, that they are our current kinds of monopolies, and monopolies by their very nature are not great at innovation. They're too big. They can't turn on a dime. They're not hungry anymore. And these Chinese firms are hungry, and they're smaller, and they're competitive. And the fear in the stock market was, oh my God, they're going to eat us. They're going to eat us alive because we are too
but
big.
are enough. But here's the thing. I like to think I know a little bit. I didn't know that, and I think there are a lot of people out there who are even less interested in living in their own bubble than me, and I don't know where this ends. And it's scary where it could possibly end. And as ridiculous as it sounds, it's like we're going back to the old 1984 movie, Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, Terminator. The machines are going to take over because we just let it, because people need to make money, and people aren't paying attention. People are reading less, and even if they try to read, they're having a hard time.
There's no stopping it. There's no stopping it. There's no stopping it.
Yeah.
Machines will take over because this is sort of like an unstoppable thing that is happening. I've been saying it for decades, and it's happening at a speed with which we piddling little humans are totally incapable of resisting it.
So here's the cheery question. Here's the cheery question for the day. How is man going to kill itself first? Through climate change, or created by our refusal to stop doing all the things that we're doing to create it, or the AI and robot takeover that will find no use for us, and one of us is going to kill us. Which do you think will be?
Susan, you've just come on a great reality show. Let's make some money off of that.
Survivor. Yeah.
Let's have seriously.
The ultimate Survivor.
Yeah. What exactly right? I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This is. I don't know what else to do. I mean, this is how I think how bad it is.
Lynn, our caller is trying to say something.
What?
Susan, you'll like this, Susan. Speaking of AI, my sister, who's having a dispute with the insurance company, is taking them to court, and she is generating legal papers through the assistance of Microsoft AI legal something or other. Asks the question, and it's giving her really good advice.
Sure.
And it's like, wow, I would have never thought to do that.
And, but there go some lawyers' jobs.
That's fine.
Yeah.
The thing that I found out about, I handle all of my own disputes. I'm a lawyer, but most of it is I realize that it's just me sitting on hold. And you're paying some attorney, how many hundreds of dollars an hour just to sit there on hold. He's happy to do it. She's happy to do it. There's nothing that difficult about law. You read the law, you read the precedents. Anybody can do it.
I was sitting on hold the other day, and I was told by some disembodied voice, a non-human, that this call will be recorded and used to further train our, I forgot what they called them. There was some euphemistic term for their new employees who are not human. And I just want to say, fuck you all, just fuck you all. And then here's the only good thing. I like to be polite to people. And now that I know when I call for, and I'm not talking.
You can scream at them all you want.
I do. I'm not talking to a human. I don't have to worry about hurting their feelings. I tell them exactly what I think because it's not a human. And you see other people actually responding to them like they're human beings. God, it's a fucking computer.
So is the definition of employee going to be changed soon?
Well, there won't be any.
I think an employee will be a human. It'll have to be a flesh and blood thing. and there won't be many of them.
No.
Okay.
And then we have to figure out how the rest of us live.
No, the way we live is, and the Republicans are going to have trouble with this one, but the only way you keep the rest of humans from going completely nuts is you have to pay them. And that's where this sort of, I forget what it's called. It's a guaranteed income will be paid to the humans so that they can live and won't cause trouble. Guaranteed annual income.
So I used to ask the question years ago, and nobody understood the question. I said, because I used to work with a bunch of Republicans, I got out of that environment. But I used to say, can you imagine a jobless society? And they're like, what are you talking about? Well, I mean, eventually, jobs are going to go away, and we got to figure out how, as human beings, we're going to survive in a civilized society. And, so we're going to be giving people things that they're not working for, and that freaks them out because you have to earn what you work for. And it's like, yeah, but what if there's no work to earn? And instead our pursuit is becoming better human beings. They don't get that at all.
No. Well, let's just say this. I was going to say it's going to be interesting, but you know what? I don't think interesting is the right word. I don't.
Tragic.
I don't want to say what it is.
It's sad.
I know we
People
have
hurt.
to hang on to our humanity in every way that we can, in our relationships, in our families, with our friends, but we also have to, even though I think the fix is in, we've got to fight like hell. I don't want to go down with a whimper. Don't. I in any way, to these Trumpers, to our fellow deadheads, because it's like living with a bunch of zombies.
They have their reality. They just don't think too deep, and we can't help that. So we just got to take care of our own humanity, I guess, and be good examples for others. I don't know.
Yeah. Except when you're talking to a computer, and then you can be an asshole.
The problem with that is that type of approach could spill over to real people. So be careful.
No, I don't think it will. But you're right. Okay. Hey, thank you.
I have a hard time shifting gears like that. All right. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Thank
bye.
You.
Bye. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Well, he is right. By the time I screamed, "Agent, just give me an effing human being. I don't want him." And then all of a sudden there is a human being there, and it's very hard to turn off.
No, see, I do. I'm so grateful for a human that I'm always nice to him, and you get better. I mean, obviously, I know dealing with humans that can you imagine a job like that? I mean, I'm always that's not a problem I have of.
No, when I'm talking, I agree. When I'm talking to, I was like, for example, talking to AT&T because my Wi-Fi wasn't working, and I had done everything that I knew they were going to tell me to do, and I screamed my way to a nice woman who, informed me after she performed all these tests that she didn't think there was a damn thing wrong with the Wi-Fi. It was doing its job. And may I ask, do you have a booster system? And I said, yes. And she said, I think it's that. Would you detach it? So I did. And she says, now let's reset your Wi-Fi. So they reset it, and boom, she fixed me, and it wasn't their problem. And I was very, 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 very pleased with her.
Well, that's nice.
I told her so, and she was pleased to be told so.
Well, of course. My God. So I watched last night this wonderful show. I was so glad. I didn't even know it was going to be on. And if you haven't seen it, make a point of it. It was 3 hours long on NBC, and it was Saturday Night Live, 50 Years of Music. And it is, I haven't watched Saturday Night Live in like 30 years. It is unbelievable. It is a treat. I don't care what kind. I think Questlove put the whole thing together. It's 3 brilliant hours of music and some comedy.
Well,
And,
if Questlove put it together, then you know it's 3 hours, brilliant hours of music.
well, so if you, I mean, absolutely go looking for it. I'm sure it'll be on demand. It was, I couldn't believe it. You know, when an hour was up, I thought, oh my God, it's going to end. I thought it was neared an hour. And then it kept going. And then I checked, thought, oh my God, this is going to 11. And it was just unbelievably good. What a wondrous, thing of a human talent and laughter. So there's something that could soothe one's soul. Another is I saw one of the Academy Award nominated movies. I've been seeing quite a few, but this one, unlike so many of the others, was funny. And it's rare that a movie that makes you laugh ends up getting Academy Award nominations. Isn't that true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because it's not.
rom-coms and comedies are generally not the fodder for.
Right. But this is like a dark rom-com, maybe. And I'm sure you've heard of it because it was talked about early and then got overwhelmed by the Brutalist and Amelia Perez, both incredible too. But it's Honora. It's set in Brooklyn, and it is, I thought, just delightful. I have not laughed and gotten a kick out of a movie in a long time, and the actress is just brilliant. Just brilliant. Well done. If you need a laugh, those are my 2 things. I mean, if you need some entertainment, Honora and that
50 years of SNL music.
oh, wow. Just wow. You name the person, they're everywhere from James Brown to Mick Jagger to everything in between, every rapper you ever heard of, they even showed the first rappers to ever be on national television, happened on Saturday Night Live. And it was Debbie Harry who brought them on. They were just doing street stuff in New York. And it was, what's that?
Excuse me.
Oh, that's your phone.
That's my daughter calling.
Oh,
sorry.
You got to tell your daughter she's got to get in her head when the show is.
I know.
She doesn't have it in her head.
No, she doesn't. She does not.
But she keeps sending me very cute pictures of her youngest child. And
well, that's what it is. She's
well, no
got
doubt.
the baby, and she's.
God help the babies. Yeah, like our family has all these little babies, and more on the way. And I have such fear. I do for them.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
So there's that. I don't know what else to say. I mean, in terms of what to. You watch anything? You don't watch new movies with mom, do you? You watch old movies.
No. I watch old ones with mother because she can relate to them easier.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that's it for me.
Okay.
I've thoroughly depressed myself. I suppose I thoroughly depressed everybody else too. Huh? Did we? What can we do?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not
Nothing.
do a happy show when it's
There ain't too much that's happy, right?
No, and in the hour that we have now spent, I wonder what horrors these SOBs have perpetrated. What horrors? Anyway, okay. But I sleep better at night. I sleep better at night, Susan, knowing that Hegseth is now in charge of the Pentagon.
Oh, me too.
That Kristi Noem is in charge of Homeland Security.
Oh, yeah, me too.
And soon Kash Patel at the FBI.
Yeah, they can all shoot each other's dogs.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Have a nice day, everybody.
Yeah, we can't help it. I think my end thing now is not going to be fuck you, as Bob wants me to say. It's going to be don't shoot the messenger. Okay? That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Bye.
Feel free to shoot other people, though.
Okay. I didn't say that. You did.
Okay. Yeah,
Goodbye.
I didn't say that. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Lynn Cullen Live, Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and archived at pghcitypaper.com. The opinions expressed on Lynn Cullen Live are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the viewpoints of Pittsburgh City Paper or its advertisers.